welcome to MoneyLove. In the past few episodes, we've talked about
Deserving,
deserving,
worthiness,
and then the last one was
enough.
being enough. Now, let's talk about language.
It's because it's so consistent with what we've been talking about.
And it's so important.
How important is languaging?
It's
Let's
so
start
important.
there.
Yeah.
Why are we so obsessed with language?
FYI lang there's like a huge study just on language alone. And even like Trump is a master in using
let's not
language.
talk about that
Okay.
one.
Sige, let's cut that
No,
portion.
I think I like that. Let's not talk about that one. Okay.
No, I'm just saying that, like, siya, I mean, he's a master of language. So, let's talk about why language
Language is so
important.
important.
Di ba we learned the
Yeah.
language patterns? I felt na parang ang laki ng shift in my life just by the shifting of words. Kasi even when you talk to your children, instead of saying, ay, ikaw kasi you did like this eh. I mean, lovingly, sometimes we criticize people around us.
Yeah.
But let's talk about our children specifically. Sometimes we criticize them kasi that's how we usually talk. And we were spoken to like that, diba? So parang, ay nako kasi naman eh, dapat ganito gawa mo.
Or worse, because I said so. This is why you have to do it.
I didn't want to be too harsh. But what if you say, for
I
example,
said so.
instead of saying, this is what you should have done,
Yes.
instead of saying that, you could actually shift it and say something differently.
Like you can say that the consequence of your action
Yes.
is this.
If they made a mistake,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, tama. Kunyari, they made a mistake. Instead of saying, kasi,
You
know,
should have done this,
or,
you should have done that.
because you're not smart or whatever.
Yes.
This is actually a good lesson for you.
Yes.
What have you learned from this?
What were the consequences of your
Oh,
action?
and instead of saying consequence, because sometimes they say consequence is negative, although consequence is positive and negative.
Yeah, it's
so
just
instead
the result
of exactly.
yeah.
So maybe
you
instead
can
of
say the result of.
yeah.
Yes.
So what are your learnings from this? What
Yeah.
is the result? If in hindsight you knew this is gonna happen, what could you have
done
changed
differently.
Yeah. What could you
Yeah.
have done differently?
Yeah.
Language is so important. And
Yes.
even with money, like okay, ito na lang, my favorite, weight loss. The word lang I'm not
like
doing
this.
any,
I love this.
I'm not saying
Folks,
anything.
listen to this because this is gold.
No, because like kunyari, di ba a lot of people say, oh, my objective is to lose 50 pounds in 3 months. Okay, I have a question. Theoretical, if, Lee, you say, oh, I lost my watch, aren't you gonna look for it?
Of course.
It's a subconscious thing that you're gonna look for it.
Thing.
Now, once you realize you lose something, you're gonna look
You're
for
gonna
it.
keep
So if
looking
you
for
say
it.
that, oh, I'm
It's
gonna
part
lose
of
weight,
you, that
oh,
you're looking-
wait, sabi ni si unconscious, teka lang. Oh, when you start losing weight, you're like, teka lang, where's my weight? Let me put it back. I mean, it's funny,
Yeah.
but, diba?
It is funny.
So instead of using, I wanna lose weight, you just say, I would like to release 50 pounds.
With ease and
Yeah,
grace.
ganyan, healthily.
Yeah.
In a healthy way.
effortlessly.
Okay, in fairness,
Think
releasing weight, you really need to be, on top of it. But it helps. Kasi kunyari, pinaghirapan mo na to release the weight, why would you want to put it back?
And why would you want to keep looking for it? And that's how the subconscious works, folks.
This is like me personally, meron akong ganyan, na parang, oh, I'm gonna release weight. Tapos nung payat na, bigla na, shucks, okay na ako, I'm perfect weight. And then for some reason, I'm so attracted to eating sweets, to
Oh,
eating
yeah.
junk.
Oh,
It's
yes.
not a conscious effort.
That's the story of my life.
You're just attracted to it because
Yeah.
there's something in you that's not allowing that in your space.
When I release the weight,
Yes.
let's say I release 10 pounds and
Yeah.
I'm just like so happy, my clothes fit.
Yes.
And I tell you, what's in my head is, ooh, I can eat.
Yes. And the thing is this, my suggestion is don't stop with, oh, I release weight and then I eat well and then I release the weight na, I'm done na. What is the psychological? What is the meaning behind it? What does releasing weight mean to you? What does creating wealth mean to me? Now shift na.
Yes.
Creating wealth. What does creating wealth mean to me? Now that I
Okay.
have the money, kunyari, the 50,000 we
Yes,
were
yes,
talking
yes,
about,
yes.
I'm already creating 50,000 a month and I'm happy with it. And biling ng mga tao, oh, I have it na, tapos na yung usapan,
Oo,
right? No,
oo.
please continue.
I
The
do
next
that also.
step is, what am I scared about now? Di ba may ganito I've been doing this for X number of months. When will the other shoe fall? I've been able to do this. When will this stop?
That's a good one.
So continue to talk to yourself.
Can you
And
give us examples?
kunyari, 50,000, I have the 50,000. Think for a moment you're this person that now finally has the 50,000.
Yes.
And then if I ask you, okay, what are you now feeling?
You know what always happens, and this is true, okay? It really happens to me. So let's say I manifested creating 50,000. and
Yeah.
the 50,000 comes. When it comes, I always find that it's still not enough. So I'm stuck in this loop where I'm constantly trying to create money, but I'm also spending more each time I create more money.
Yes.
So it always boils down to
Never
it not
enough.
being enough.
Yes.
Help.
Well, first of all, go back to the previous episode and what is enough, right? But kunyari, you're doing it
Yes.
already. So you're like, okay, now I have the 50,000 and then I realize it's not enough, or I realize, shucks, nakakatakot, I have 50,000 and then what do I do? Mga ganyan.
Yeah.
Ang daming fears lumalabas. It take time to sit with yourself and be honest with yourself. Like for example, with you na parang, nako, it's not enough. Okay, maybe you need to sit down with yourself and say, what is enough? What is my definition of enough? Kasi the other voice might say, ano ka ba? Hiningi mo na yan. Tapos, ang swapang-swapang mo naman. Bakit mo gusto more? Nabubuhay ka naman sa
Akala ko ba
50,000.
okay na tayo sa
diba?
50,000?
Though, instead
Why
of
is it
judging
not
yourself,
enough now?
come into a space of being safe and say, okay, if 50,000 is not enough, why is 50,000 not enough now when it was enough last week? Pretend, kunyari, na you already did the
Yes,
computation
yes.
na may excess ka na, ha? So, why is 50,000 not enough now? And then, the thing is, yes, you saw a nice, very nice. You said, oh, I saw a nice thing and I wanted it. Why did I want it? Kasi before,
that's a good
there was
one.
one time, I was so sad kasi I had a fight with somebody. I was so depressed. I went out and spent 50,000. Kunyari lang, 50,000. When I came home, I was so guilty. Now, why did I do that? I don't spend that kind of money. Why did I do that? And then I realized because I was so depressed. And it was my way of increasing my vibration. It helped teeny tiny bit. But when I realized that's my pattern pala, that when I'm depressed, I go shopping. I realized that. And then, so the next time I got depressed, I could say, okay, I know I want this, but I stop and say, I want this because I'm depressed, not because I want it. Because if I want this because I want this, that's different. But if I want this because I am in a depressed state, because it's just a state, it's not,
Yes.
I'm in a depressed state, then I can say, I don't want to use whatever money I have to buy this. I will now work on why am I in this
What's
state.
going to make me feel better? That doesn't cost money.
Yes. Kasi when you say na there's this shiny trinket, why? Why do you need to buy this shiny trinket? You know why? I'm not saying that this is why, but one of the things that come to my mind is
Yes.
because you were never used to having that 50,000. So now you're like, oh, I have 50,000. I need to spend it because my unconscious is sanay to have negative.
That simple thing.
My suggestion is just go deeper. Because you not being happy with the 50,000, being kulang, is because there's something inside, deeper, that you might want to look at.
That's a good one. How's that? I got therapy in 10 minutes. I love it. So folks, we have a lot of doing to do and a lot of self-correction in our behavior. So if you need support, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. This is Money Love.